Hey, I want to talk a little bit about everything. So, I went to the doctor, like I said, and they just called yesterday and told me that, well, your blood work showed up normal, but yet it showed that I had an issue with my lymphatic system. It showed that my lymph nodes were off and that I had a high white blood cell count. But they said that's probably just because of my upper respiratory infection, so they gave Augmentin. But I go from infection to infection all the time, all year long. It goes from my head, and it goes into my ears, and it goes down to my throat, and congestion again in the mouth, and then it's back in my chest, and all over my body. And right now, I literally feel so tired and so bad that I can barely sit up. I can't see right. My eyes aren't seeing right. They're so droopy. They just want to close and fall out. And they told me that, well, everything shows up normal. Just lose weight, go on a low carb diet, lose weight, and that's all they tell me. Spend $308 in a facility just to be told, and 200 in another urgent care that I went to that told me I had nothing. I had 100 fever, but they said if it's not 100.1, it's not considered fever. It's technicality. If you have 99.7, they don't consider that fever anymore. It's just 100.1 or above. Well, I was running 100 and a half before I went in there, and I ran 100 and a half for like on and off for 3 months when I was with Mama, and I didn't want to say anything about it because I really needed to stay with her and help her, and it wasn't catching because Daddy never caught it from me. It's not anything catching; it's an autoimmune issue. And they told me that I show up normal, that all my levels show up normal, and I don't know. I'm so tired. I have plenty of sleep, and yet I'm still so tired. My eyes can't stay up; they can't stay open. And every doctor that I've ever gone to tells me, just lose weight, you're fine. But yet I was told when I was a little child, my mama was told, and I was too, back when I went to Vanderbilt Hospital, and they treated me really. I mean, they were just acting like I was an experiment. It was very scary. I can remember it. All the doctors were standing around me and testing. Anyway, and I remember they told Mama, well, we found inconclusive. They would never tell her what they found. They never told her. They said, well, we found out he's just going to have Tylenol and Motrin. Switch it up every 4 hours his entire life. But the Tylenol affects my liver having to take that all the time. But if I don't take Tylenol, then I get feverish and achy. My joints, my muscles, my nerves hurt so bad I can barely sit up. I have almost pretty much all but one symptom of Hashimoto's, and I can't seem to lose any weight no matter what I do. I try to stay hydrated, drinking water right now, but yet water burns my throat unless I actually can drink it at that time. Like right now, I'm able to drink it, but I can barely stay awake. And they tell me that there's nothing, that I have to wait 3 more months for them to do any more tests, anything, because they can't get me in. Doctors can't with a 3 months in advance anymore. I loved all the doctors that went out there at that facility, and they really wanted me to go out there because they liked me. They were the ones that were seeing about Mama, and at that facility that she was in, and they met me through that from that reason. Everyone bragged about how it was and talked about me to them, and they were impressed by me and I was very nice to them, and it felt like a family out there. Most people, and I was glad that the doctor that I was going to see out there is the one that I used to see that left the facility nearby here. She left the doctor's office that is nearby here and went to that one to practice there. And I was hoping to see her, but we're seeing someone else there. They just got us in. Now I've got to wait 3 more months to go back. They said, we'll just have to do one bit of blood work at a time. And I'm so tired I can barely sit up. I don't know what else to do. I just thought I'd share that with everyone. What would you do? I know I've got to try to still lose weight regardless, but they said, do you plan on getting a job soon? Do you plan on getting insurance soon? Or I told them I'd like to, but I said I need to, but I feel, how do you work if you can't stay awake? and you feel so bad, like something's eating you from the inside. Is what it feels like. It feels like some kind of an infection is eating me from the inside, and they won't find it till it's too late. Just like most people I've spoken to, and including my mama's situation, no one helped her for many, many, many years. Many, 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 many years. No one helped her, and she had been going through symptoms of the same thing for many years, and no one helped her until she was knocking on the door to, moving on. Till she was almost gone. She was gone, and now thank God she's here, and she's doing much better right now. But I mean, I'm dealing with all these symptoms of these things, and they tell me nothing. They just say, I spent $308 on a visit and tests, and then I get results showing I have high white blood cell count, and I have a lymphatic issues, but then that's what it shows on the results. High lymph nodes, whatever, high lymphs, and they call and tell me everything's normal. So what do you do? I black out. I literally black out and fall backwards. My weight's not going to cause me to do that. I mean, I literally black out. I fall backwards. I can barely stay awake. I mean, I'm kind of just fed up with all of them. All of the entire... I love the people out there, but the rules in these doctors' offices and system is starting to get... None of us can get the medicines we need, yet I see dealers running the streets. Dealers are running doctors' offices. Dealers are running facilities. The people can get anything they want in these facilities. There were people that were getting things and doing things, and there's nothing they can do about it. Act like there's nothing they can do about it. It's happening at all these facilities nationwide. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. You see the dealers going by everywhere, just daring anyone to say anything. But yet we have to sign our name away and sign my life over just to get medicine that we need. We hurt all the time, and I'm sick all the time. This system's messed up. But what would you do? I had all the symptoms of Hashimoto's. And then that one medicine, if Mama didn't have insurance, it was going to be $600 something, $200 a month, plus Daddy's would be $1,000, and then yeah. I mean, what do you do if you're not... Our medicine would be thousands of dollars a month if it weren't for their insurance, his insurance. Now, I don't know how people live. I don't know how they live. I really don't. Medicine should not be thousands of dollars. Doctor's office visits shouldn't cost hundreds of dollars. It really shouldn't. Especially to be given a bunch of tests and then told, you're fine, everything's fine. And yet I'm not. I can't work like this. I can't stay. Well, anyway, the Lord's going to take care of us. I know. All we got is Jesus Christ. That's all we have, and each other. But what would your suggestion be? Besides, I know I need to lose weight, but that's just a given. But I can barely stay awake. Something is not right. And never has been with me. I went to high school. When I was in high school, I went to infectious disease experts. That was in the hospital. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I went to multiple major MDs, big doctors. I went to health experts. I went to so many different doctors, major doctors. They said, well, it looks like you got the symptoms of Crohn's disease. And then they searched for that, couldn't find it. And then they were supposed to send this pill with a camera down into my gut. They never did do it. The insurance dropped me. The insurance wouldn't do it. And they got mad at us and said, you should be glad that we didn't find anything. And I said, I want to find out what is wrong with me, though. And they never would. And that's the time I've had with the medical system. All they ever say is, you should be glad we found nothing. And then they told me one time that my gallbladder numbers were high. I go in there and the surgeon asked me, what are you doing here? That was in 2013. I said, what do you mean, what am I doing here? You called me, and there was hope, I thought. And then they said, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You should be glad. And they just told us to leave. So, I don't know. I've been tired and sick and having issues my entire life. I held up strong, trying to, when Mama was in that facility and in the hospital, and all the nurses and other staff told me, you need to take care of yourself, get you some rest and everything. But I have problems no matter what. What would you do? Any suggestions? Please let me know. God bless.